And the latest group of Marines to return from Operation Iraqi Freedom lands safely at Miramar.
This is 10 News, live at 5.
The biggest group of Marines deployed from MCAS Miramar is home again tonight.
The Marines spent the last 4 months in Iraq taking part in Operation Iraqi Freedom after fighting in Operation Enduring Freedom. 10 News reporter Kim Edwards is at Miramar with more on all the smiles and hugs. Kim?
We've seen a million of them, but they're always fun. 234 Marines, so you can imagine the amount of people on the other side of that yellow ribbon. They came through today in 2 waves, and I'll have to say it's the group in the second wave that got the real show. Ten FA-18 fighter jets from the Marine All-Weather Fighter Attack Squadron flew over Miramar in formations of 3, 3, and 4. They're better known around here as the Green Knights. This was their one last mission, probably the most important, the mission to get home. They've been gone for 4 months, performed more than 1,400 combat sorties, dropped more than 800,000 pounds of ordnance. And earlier today, their support group came in on a very large, very happy 747, greeted by excited, elated family and friends. The posters are almost finished. The banners are hung. The stage is set. All we need is Daddy.
What's the first thing you want to do when Daddy gets here?
I want to hug him but not kiss him.
You want to hug him but not kiss him?
So what do you do when you're 2.5 years old, Daddy's been gone 4 months, and now his plane's going to be late? Who are you waiting for?
Major William Vanswall.
And who is that?
He's my dad.
Who are you waiting on, Mary Lynn?
Shirley Daddy.
Your daddy? Where's he?
And that plane.
That plane, a United Airlines 747 carrying more than 200 Marines from Marine Aircraft Group 11 and the All-Weather Fighter Attack Squadron 121. They fought 4 months in the thick of Operation Iraqi Freedom, but these last few minutes in formation are the most unbearable.
They look alike. You can't tell any of them apart right now. You're just like, I think that's him. No, I think that's him. It's...
I picked him out of the front of the lineup as soon as I got into formation, yeah.
And how good do they look?
Oh, they look awesome.
He's trying to walk. Look at him, he's going.
Oh, he's crawling and walking. He's a big boy now. Since when I left, he wasn't doing anything.
Daddy's potty trained.
What do you think about that, Dad? Big things happen while you're gone.
Yep, big things happen.
And no one knows more just how precious this cargo is than the pilot who flew the troops home.
Well, I've done other military charters, but it was taking them all the other way, and you can trust me that there's a whole different attitude when you're coming home than when you're going the other direction.
Oh, it's super. It's thought about him every minute I was gone. I just can't believe I'm home. It just feels great.
All right.
Nothing better.
Nothing better, and they all get a few days off, then start the rotation where some will have 2 weeks to 30 days off, then they'll come back to work and the others will leave for 2 weeks to 30 days. And Carol and Hal, one last thing, coming up at 6:30, you'll see the sight that many of us have waited for. As Bob Lawrence reported, all of these guys have wanted nothing more than an ice-cold beer. And they got that today the minute they got off the plane. We'll see that coming up at 6:30. We're live at Miramar. I'm Kim Edwards.
Oh, and Kim, I wish we could see that little girl again say, my daddy's in that airplane.
In that plane, right there.
So neat.
So close.
All right, thanks, Kim.
Nice. Well, about 200 more Marines are back home with their families tonight.
Marine All-Weather Fighter Attack Squadron 121, also known as the Green Knights, return home today after fighting in the war with Iraq, along with Marine Aircraft Group 11. 10 News reporter Kim Edwards was at Miramar for today's Happy Homecoming. Kim.
Bit of a mouthful, but you got to get all that in. It's the Green Knights and MAG-11, their support group. After hundreds of hours over Iraq and Kuwait, 12 fighter jets and one 747 full of successful, happy Marines. After 4 months away, several weeks in combat, hundreds of sorties in Operation Iraqi Freedom, the Green Knights made one last pass in formation, this time over friendly soil and the friendliest of faces.
You're the best.
Come here.
Hi, buddy.
There he is!
This is his 4th deployment, and this by far was the hardest, simply because of what was happening in the world.
We're trained for what we've done. We've been training for it for 5 to 10 years, depending on who you are. And he went in, did exactly like we do in training, and came home with everybody.
Earlier this afternoon, the rest of the troops, support personnel, arrived home by commercial airliner.
Hey, it's great to be home. It was a long trip, but it was worth it in the end, but just happy to be home.
6 foot, blondish brown hair, good looking.
Oh, this is one of the most fantastic things I've done in my aviation career, to bring these guys home and pick them up and, you know, shake their hand when they come off the airplane and welcome them home.
It's good to be home. There are close to 140 families that aren't going to get somebody home after this.
It's hard to put in words. Just leaving them the way we did, knowing that you're going into war and the risk that you take, and then being able to come back, just and see them again. Can't express how happy.
Tell me who this finally is.
This is my husband, which I finally found. It took forever. This is Sergeant Moore, and I'm so happy that he's home. I love him so much.
There you are. How does that taste?
Oh, awesome.
There it is, the beer. They've waited so long for that. The men and women of this deployment will have the next couple of days off, all of them. Then they'll rotate some time in. Some have 2 weeks off. Some of them have 30 days. But who's counting at this point? I'm just glad to be home.
Let's see, we've heard some say they wanted a beer, Kim. I think somebody wanted a fish taco. There have been a lot of first requests like that.
Definitely. There was one family we came across that's having a pizza party and another heading straight for the beach. So everybody's got their favorite.
Welcome home. Thanks, Kim.